Hi everybody, we are here in BlockChyp's terminal imaging room, one of the inner sanctums of BlockChyp, with a developer terminal kit that's about ready to ship. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of open this up and kind of explain what to do if you happen to get one of these things in the mail, because you're going to be doing an integration with BlockChyp. So you open the box, first thing you're going to see is a brief instruction card. I'm going into a little bit more detail, but this will at least explain to you how to unbox the terminal, hook it up, and get it activated on the BlockChyp network. So I'll set this aside and show you what is inside the box when you open it up. So there's some bubble wrap inside the cable assembly that it has 3 different parts. That's what you're seeing here. And you also get a couple of test cards. So you're going to get a couple of magstripe test cards and a couple of B2 EMB test cards as well. And then we'll take the cable assembly and we'll set it aside. Here on the bottom is the actual Luxe 8500i terminal. I'll open this up, and you see it comes with a little cleaning cloth, little instruction kit from little instruction card from Equinox, and then the terminal itself is wrapped in the anti-static bag. So you can take the terminal out like this, and then what you want to do first is flip it over. So you'll see right here, there's this little wiring harness that attaches to it. The cable assembly that's in the bag is the first thing you want to open up. So I'll rip this open. And I'll remove the wire tie that's on it. And you're going to want to get a small Phillips screwdriver. Now we may eventually include screwdrivers in the terminal kits, but as of right now we don't. We probably will in the near future. So if your kit includes one of these, you're ready to go. So then you have to screw this in place. And you might ask yourself, why do I have to go through all this trouble? And the reason is because this allows in the field, in the retail environment, for these important connectors on the end. Let me grab these. So here on the end of the other end of the cable, you see that's power and that's network. And so by having this approach, it allows the network and power cable to be locked in some cabinet that can't be tampered with by the public, essentially. So it's a little bit of an inconvenience for development. That's what we have to do. So once you have this done, the next thing is to take this box, which includes your power supply transformer. Looks like that. And undo the wire tie. Okay, and then you'll notice that the connector has a couple of little notches on it, right there and there. So what you want to do is you want to align those notches with the connector. Now I like to give it like a 45-degree twist just to lock it in place. And that's pretty good. Then the next thing is to connect the power itself. So it's a standard IAC cable. So just plug it right there. And I'll have that standing by to turn on. Now we'll connect the network. Okay, the next thing to do is, before you plug in the power, is connect it to your network. You should have an Ethernet cable. There are certain terminals that are Wi-Fi enabled. This particular terminal is not. So just connect your network cable right there. Okay, that's all good. So now we should be ready to power this bad boy up. So I will turn it back over, take the power, plug it in. Then I'll remove this little film on top, and the terminal should boot up. All right, so now we'll take this out of the imaging room and we'll take it over to my desk and we'll show you how to actually activate the terminal and put it on the BlockChyp network and start developing. Okay, we've taken the terminal, we've brought it over to our development workstation, and now we're going to power it up. As you can see, it boots into the Equinox firmware. All right, now you can see it's booting into the BlockChyp firmware. It says touch to activate. And so now the terminal is ready to be paired with the BlockChyp network. So all you have to do is sign into your partner account. So you should have received an email. You click the link in the email, and then you'll either join an existing partner account, you'll be prompted to sign up for one. And once you've logged in, the first thing you'll see here is your partner dashboard, which just has your basic information. So the next thing to do, we go to developer tools, and you want to create a test merchant account. You can see I already have one, but I'll talk you through the process of creating another one. These are just merchant accounts that are purely for developer use. They're a little simpler. You don't have to go through all of the same processes that you would to set up a real merchant account. So I'll click Add Test Merchant, and I'll call this Demo Merchant, if I can spell it correctly. And click Submit. Now you can see I've got this other demo merchant. The blockchain public key has been created. I click on it, now I can see the merchant's dashboard. And then all I do now is go over here and click Activate Terminal. And so I do that, and then I go over to my terminal and I touch the screen. And what will happen is it will generate an activation code. So let's watch for that. So there it is. So now you just enter that code. You have 10 minutes to do this before the code expires, by the way. And let's call it, I'll call it Developer Terminal. And I'll click Activate here. And then you can see if I wait over here on my terminal, you can see now the terminal has picked up the fact that it's been activated. So now the terminal is paired by merchant account. Now it's going to restart. It's going to generate new encryption keys, and you should be ready to go. So we'll watch the process. Something that's a little different from what you may be used to is that BlockChyp generates encryption keys in the field based on a Diffie-Hellman protocol. So they're not key injected when the terminal is first shipped. And so you'll see it doing that. So now the terminal is ready. I can go back to my dashboard. Now you can see the terminal is here. If I go here, I can see the terminal status. I can see what I called it, what type of terminal it is, what the active logo is that's on the default screen, along with the memory resources, the IP address that's been assigned, all of that fun stuff. Okay, now your terminal is ready for transactions, for test transactions. To get started, if you look under here under Developer Tools, there's a couple of different places you can go. You can start with API documentation. This will give you all the documentation you need to get started. If you just want to test the terminal to make sure it works, what we recommend doing is to try the Go SDK, because inside of the Go SDK there are command line binaries. If you click here for releases, you'll see there's a couple of downloads where you can download basically a Linux or Windows executable that will allow you to run test transactions. We developed the CLI for platforms that might be a little older, or for some reason using a built-in library doesn't make sense. So this is a good way to kind of start things out. So I would check out the documentation here. One of the things you'll have to do when you start with this is you'll need to generate credentials. So you'll notice up here where it says API credentials in the dashboard, you click that, you click generate new keys, and it will generate these credentials. And so whatever integration technique you're using, you copy these into the configuration for that, and you should be good to go. So that's all it takes to get a BlockChyp terminal online and ready for development. And look for future videos. We'll go into some of the different integration techniques in more detail in our next installment. Thanks, everybody. Bye.